So I read in the news recently that Riya Chakravarti, the famed actress, is going to be applying for anticipatory bail before the local sessions court against the case that has been registered by the Narcotics Control Bureau, that is the NCB, in which her brother has already been arrested so far. Now, it is very interesting, of course, as a very preliminary thing to mention that up till now, there has been a case of CBI which has been registered to investigate into the alleged murder of Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput. Apart from that, there is a case which has been registered by the Enforcement Directorate for the alleged money laundering allegation that is there against Ms. Chakravarti for allegedly laundering Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput's money. And the third case, which has now been registered, is under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act by the Narcotics Control Bureau. Now, according to news reports, the NCB says that they have charged Riya's brother and they are planning to charge Riya under sections 20A, 20B and section 27 of the NDPS Act. First and foremost, this is one of the reasons why I never trust news media citations on the face, because there is always a possibility that some journalist sitting in his office desk has messed up some small thing or the other. So if you actually open up the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985, which was passed by the Parliament in the year 1985, you will see that there is no section 20A or 20B in the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act or the NDPS Act. Instead, section 20 itself, inside of it, has two situations which are listed as capital A and capital B. Anyways, those are not really very important. What is important is the language, the wordings of section 20 of the NDPS Act, because a lot of people are under the impression for some reason that if they are merely in possession or they are perhaps caught as a part of a larger mastermind under the NDPS Act, it is only then that they will be charged. However, the NDPS Act says, the statute says that you can be punished for trade, for procuration, for possession, and even for consumption. And therefore, this is the section which is perhaps being used to investigate the allegations against Ms. Chakravarti. Now, the allegation against Ms. Chakravarti is that she tried to procure these two substances, basically cannabis, or I'm not sure, some people are saying cannabinoid oil or cannabis, and the other substance is MDMA, also known as ecstasy. Now, dealing with both of these substances, cannabis itself is notified as a drug under the NDPS Act. There are various quantities which are prescribed as either small quantity, more than small quantity, and then commercial quantity. And then there is, of course, MDMA, which is listed as a psychotropic substances. Both, of course, and because of the ambit of section 37 of the NDPS Act, both are cognizable, both are non-bailable offenses, procuration, trade, anything at all. And on top of that, it is just relevant to mention, it is not perhaps applicable to this particular case, but I find fascinating that section 37 of the NDPS Act says that any person who is alleged to have committed an offense either under these two or three provisions which are not applicable over here, or for a case involving commercial quantity, which is again not applicable over here, then that person shall not be released on bail on two grounds. And now it is also relevant to give a little bit of a background on the Criminal Procedure Code in the relevant context with the NDPS Act. Now, so when you apply for anticipatory bail, or let's take it step by step. You apply for regular bail if you're already arrested under sections 437 or 439 of the Criminal Procedure Code. And if you are apprehending arrest but you're not arrested as of now, just like Riya, you can seek anticipatory bail from the court under section 438 of the CRPC. The NDPS Act, section 37 says that commercial quantities or the other sections which are there, if you are caught in contravention of those sections, you shall not be granted bail. And even then, the provisions of the CRPC will be applicable. But on top of that, there will be two other considerations. One, that the public prosecutor will be heard, which is not a big deal. It is anyways done as a matter of practice, even under CRPC matters. But the more important, the more difficult provision to deal with for the accused person is the fact that the accused person at the time of filing for bail will have to show to the court that he is not guilty or that he is innocent of the crime that he is being accused of. And it becomes very, very difficult for a person without any evidence being shown in the court, without the evidence at a very, very preliminary stage when the authorities are already after him, to be able to kind of come to the court, give enough evidence to show to the judge that yes, he is indeed innocent. And that is why in majority of the matters under the NTPS Act, if Section 37 is invoked, in all likelihood you will not be able to get bail at all. Ria's case is a little different. However, still there is a very, very good chance that she will not be granted anticipatory bail, because from experience, lawyers tell us, I have done several matters for the NCB itself, because I used to work as an associate with a senior special public prosecutor for the Narcotics Control Bureau at an earlier occasion. So I've dealt with hundreds of such matters at a very, very regular basis. When it comes to anticipatory bail, even involving small quantities or less than small quantities, once the allegation is there, it is very, very difficult for you to get anticipatory bail. You have to effectively come to court with enough ample proof to show that you are perhaps being falsely accused, or that there is evidence of a positive nature in your favor which establishes your innocence. And if that is not there, you can very well imagine that you will not be able to get bail. Your anticipatory bail will be dismissed. And as what happened with Ria's brother, till now the NCB has not went and actively hunted her down and arrested her. And the only reason why this kind of liberty was given was perhaps because she is a lady. Otherwise, Ria's brother was, from what I understand from news reports, his house was raided. He was arrested from his house itself. But a notice has been issued to Ria by the NCB to appear before them, I believe on the 5th or the 6th of September. I believe it's going to be a Sunday, so it's going to be 6th of September. And if Ria does not get bail, that is anticipatory bail, before that, we can be sure that the moment she appears before the NCB, there is going to be no chance that the NCB is going to say that yes, we feel that the applicant or that the accused person has sufficiently joined the investigation and no custody is required. The NCB is going to say a couple of things which are very right, which is the gravity of the offense, the fact that the evidence needs to be collected, that the investigation is at a very, very preliminary stage, because of which NCB itself will also want to immediately arrest Ria the moment she appears before them. The only possibility that she has of being granted anticipatory bail, in fact, I would say that there are two of them. One is that she is a lady, and of course, there is a little bit of a soft side that India's judicial system has for female accused person. That's always been there since time immemorial. No matter how grave the offense, there is a slightly softer side which is there. Apart from that, the fact on the merits of the matter, the fact that the basis for the prosecution right now is perhaps text messages, few depositions of people who are already under custody, no blood test to show that there was an active procuration by Ria, now in all probability will end up in an acquittal at a much later stage, from experience, from my understanding of the whole situation. And this leads me to the conclusion, which is, it doesn't matter whether she gets anticipatory bail or not. She will face trial at the end of it. Whether there could be a conviction or could be an acquittal, we'll all see that as well. But at the end of the day, as a conclusion, we can be sure, no matter what happens, Ria Chakravarti, I just feel sorry for you, because your life pretty much over.